hope they remember you.
Like the title suggests, for all intents and purposes, this movie should not work. Way too many characters, way too much random stuff that needs way too much explanation, and that's before we even start talking about the things that they changed and retconned. Oh my god, do you feel the length of this movie? You really, truly do. But at the same time, for some reason, somehow, it kind of works. Now, it's by no means what some people are calling it, like the greatest superhero movie ever made, or even the best of Marvel. No, that honor still goes to one of these little things right here. Now, based off the box office returns of this movie after just, what is this now, 3 days, 4 days? Everyone watching this video has probably seen Avengers Infinity War. And for those that haven't, it's basically a fetch quest. Like, the whole movie is about stopping the guy from going on the quest to find the things from the point of view of the people that are trying to stop the guy from finding the things. And that's such a base, simple plot that it's the kind of thing that you kind of write off in a lot of other movies, you know? Because this is essentially just a MacGuffin quest, except instead of one MacGuffin, there's, what 5? 6? A million? Infinity? Thanos has to go on a quest, Thor has to go on a quest, and then Thanos has to go on another quest, and then these little dudes running around are going on quests, and then these guys are going on quests, and these guys are trying to find this, and they're trying to find that. Like, after a while, you're kind of thinking, can we stop looking for things and just do stuff already? But damn it to hell if Thanos, the big purple space monster from hell, basically, who's trying to blow up half the universe, is an oddly compelling character. Now, I went into this movie with not a lot of hope. I'll throw that out there. I'm not super familiar with Thanos as a character from the comics. My comic readingness isn't quite what it should be. But what I understand of the big purple nutsack chin guy is that his whole deal is that he wants to bang the literal physical representation of death. Like, he's got a serious hard-on for her. And in order to make her realize that he's the best mate that she could have, he wants to blow up half the universe so she gets all this death and destruction and stuff to revel in, and then he's like, yo, baby, what up? And, you know, like, that's kind of interesting. Like, I've never really seen anything like that before. But at the same time, that didn't really sound like something I wanted to watch for 2.5 hours. But damn it to hell, if Russo brothers, Disney, Marvel, Kevin Feige, or whoever the hell, someone somewhere made the great decision to make Thanos' whole deal not about just killing people so that he can get his freak on, but as a weird, twisted way to save the universe. Like, I'm not saying I, empathize with Thanos, nor do I agree with him, not by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a logic and a certainty to this character and the way that Josh Brolin performs it that really makes it oddly compelling. Like, this could so easily have just been, haha, I need the things to blow up the stuff for the reasons. But there's an emotional arc to this character. There's a weight to the things that he does, to his actions, to his choices, to his interactions with the other characters that honestly make him one of the best Marvel villains to date. And that was the other big thing for me going into this movie. Like, Marvel's got a pretty bad track record when it comes to villains, and this whole movie is being sold on the concept of this villain being the biggest, baddest thing to ever big a bad. But they nailed it. After DC decided they didn't have the balls to go for Darkseid, and after Fox just completely face-planted when they tried to do Apocalypse, somehow Marvel came in with their big purple bad and just kind of knocked it out of the park. And if anyone out there is waiting for some kind of nuance in this review, it's hard to do, really. Because this movie is an odd achievement. If for no other reason, they're just looking at the track records of other studio projects that have tried to do the whole connected universe thing. Like, Universe failed with their whole Dark Universe thing, not just once, not twice, but arguably thrice. And of course, you got DC.
Why did you say that name?
And then you have Sony's attempts at making some kind of weird Spider-Man villain connected universe thing, the remnants of which we're seeing in the form of Venom coming out later this year, which basically just looks like Prototype the movie. Yeah, you remember Prototype? I remember Prototype. And I think someone who worked on Venom also remembers Prototype. Let's just hope Tom Hardy gets to dropkick some helicopters. And yet, despite everyone around them failing to do the thing that they're doing, Disney and Marvel has continued to do it pretty dang well. Yeah, some of the things that they've done together have been bad. or just, dumb, or just boring. But for the most part, their track record's pretty solid. Especially recently, like Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and now Infinity War are some of my favorite Marvel movies. Like a couple of those I would put in the top 5, and all of them are at least in the top 10, which is kind of getting a significant thing to have to, signify here, considering we're about to hit the 20th Marvel movie. Just, oh my god, they're never gonna stop. And should they stop? I mean, these movies are drawing from comic books that range from decades old to relatively recently. They have all kinds of storylines and characters that they can pull upon to make more and more and more and more movies. And while I kind of hope that they do kind of wrap things up here after Avengers 4 comes out next year, I think it is, they're probably not. And that's okay. As long as they're able to maintain a certain quality level and audience-pleasing factor, there's no real reason why this franchise just can't keep going and going and going and going and going and going. Yeah, audiences might lose interest eventually. I mean, hell, like look at Westerns. People eventually got bored of them when they were the only thing being made. Same for musicals. They were the biggest ticket item out there, but then there were too many of them and people stopped caring. And now both Westerns and musicals are kind of nice little niche movies that we get every now and again. Some of them even get up for Best Picture. And you may be thinking now, the title of this video is a little bit clickbaity, and look, I'll admit it, I'm trying to get some extra subscribers here if I can. But at the same time, I stand by it. This movie should not have worked, but it did. It's pretty cool.